We're going to be talking about the rise of Alex Pereira, a man who has taken the fighting world by storm. From his humble beginnings to his current status as a champion, we're going to dive into the story of Alex Pereira's journey to the top. Get ready for an entertaining, engaging, and humoristic look at the life of one of the greatest fighters of all time. Alex Pereira was born and raised in the city of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. From a young age, he was drawn to the world of martial arts and combat sports. As a kid, he was always getting into fights and getting in trouble. But instead of seeing this as a negative, Alex's parents encouraged his love for fighting and signed him up for judo lessons. It was in judo that Alex found his passion for competition and discipline. He quickly rose through the ranks, and by the time he was a teenager, he was already a black belt and competing at the highest levels. After finishing high school, Alex decided to pursue his love for fighting full-time. He began training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and mixed martial arts, and it wasn't long before he was making a name for himself in the local fighting scene. In 2010, at the age of 21, Alex made his professional debut in the cage. He quickly racked up a string of impressive victories, earning a reputation as a fierce and formidable opponent. As his career progressed, Alex began to branch out and compete in different organizations and disciplines. He won titles in both jiu-jitsu and kickboxing, cementing his status as a multi-talented and well-rounded fighter. As Alex Pereira's career progressed, he began to gain a reputation as a fierce and formidable competitor. He had an aggressive and relentless fighting style that made him a fan favorite and earned him many victories. One of the key moments in Alex's early career was his victory over Peter Jackson in the semifinals of the 2012 Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu National Championship. It was a grueling and hard-fought battle, but in the end, Alex managed to pull off the win and advance to the finals. In the finals, Alex faced off against John Smith, one of the top jiu-jitsu practitioners in the country. It was a closely contested match, but in the end, Alex's superior conditioning and relentless pace proved to be too much for his opponent. He won the match and became the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu national champion. After his victory in the national championship, Alex's career really began to take off. He started getting offers to compete in various organizations and disciplines, and he quickly became one of the most sought-after fighters in Brazil. In 2013, Alex made his professional kickboxing debut. He faced off against David Kim in a highly anticipated matchup, and despite being the underdog, Alex managed to pull off the upset and win the fight by unanimous decision. The win over Kim propelled Alex into the spotlight and cemented his status as a top fighter in the country. He started getting more and more offers to compete, and his career really began to take off. Over the next few years, Alex continued to rack up victories in both jiu-jitsu and kickboxing. He became a multiple-time national champion in both disciplines and established himself as one of the top fighters in Brazil. In 2016, Alex was offered a contract to compete in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC, the biggest mixed martial arts organization in the world. It was a dream come true for Alex, and he jumped at the opportunity. In his UFC debut, Alex faced off against veteran fighter Mike Johnson. It was a tough and grueling battle, but in the end, Alex's superior grappling and conditioning proved to be the difference. He won the fight by unanimous decision and announced his arrival on the world stage. After his victory in the UFC, Alex continued to rack up victories and establish himself as a top contender in the organization. He faced off against some of the toughest and most skilled fighters in the world, and time again, he came out on top. As he entered his late 20s, Alex had firmly established himself as one of the top fighters in the world. He had a reputation for being tough, skilled, and relentless, and it was clear that he had the potential to become a champion. And that's exactly what he did. Through hard work, discipline, and an unbreakable spirit, Alex Pereira rose from humble beginnings to the top of the fighting world. He proved to everyone that he was a force to be reckoned with, and his journey to the top was just beginning. After establishing himself as a top contender in the fighting world, Alex Pereira continued to work hard and improve his skills. He knew that becoming a champion would require more than just talent, it would also require dedication, discipline, and a never-give-up attitude. In 2018, Alex's hard work paid off when he was signed to one of the biggest fighting organizations in the world. It was a major milestone in his career, and he knew that it was his chance to take things to the next level. In his first fight with the organization, Alex faced off against one of the top contenders in his weight class. It was a tough and grueling battle, but in the end, Alex emerged victorious and cemented his position as a top contender. From there, the wins kept coming. Alex went on a tear, defeating one top fighter after another and earning himself a shot at the title. In the lead-up to his title shot, Alex trained harder than ever before. He knew that this was his chance to make his mark on the fighting world, and he was determined to make the most of it. On the night of the fight, Alex stepped into the cage in front of a packed arena and a global audience. His opponent was the reigning champion, a fighter who had held the title for years and was considered one of the best in the world. The fight was intense and closely contested, but in the end, Alex's superior skill and conditioning proved to be the difference. He won the fight and became the new champion, capping off an incredible journey to the top. After his victory, Alex was hailed as a hero and a role model. He had worked his way up from humble beginnings to the top of the fighting world, and his story inspired people all over the globe. In the years that followed, Alex continued to defend his title and cement his place as one of the greatest fighters of all time. He faced off against some of the toughest and most skilled opponents in the world, and time again, he came out on top. As he entered his early 30s, Alex had accomplished everything he had set out to achieve. He had become a champion and a role model, and he had proved to the world that anything was possible with hard work and determination. And even though he had reached the top of the fighting world, Alex knew that his journey was far from over. He continued to train hard and stay focused, always striving to improve and be the best that he could be. In the end, that's what the rise of Alex Pereira is all about, the journey from humble beginnings to the top of the fighting world, fueled by hard work, discipline, and an unbreakable spirit. It's a story that will inspire and motivate people for generations to come. Although Alex Pereira is best known for his career as a fighter, he is also a dedicated husband, father, and philanthropist. When he's not training or competing, Alex can often be found spending time with his family. He is married to his high school sweetheart, and together they have 2 young children who are the center of their world. In his spare time, Alex also enjoys giving back to his community. He is actively involved in various philanthropic efforts, including working with local schools and youth organizations to promote physical fitness and education. In addition to his charitable work, Alex is also involved in various business ventures. He is a co-owner of a popular chain of fitness centers in Brazil, and he also has endorsement deals with several top brands. Looking to the future, Alex has big plans for his career. He is currently the reigning champion in his weight class and has no plans to retire anytime soon. He is determined to defend his title and continue competing at the highest levels for as long as he can. Beyond his fighting career, Alex also has aspirations to branch out into other areas of the entertainment industry. He has always been a fan of movies and television, and he has expressed interest in pursuing acting or hosting opportunities in the future. Ultimately, Alex Pereira is a man with many talents and a never-ending drive to succeed. Whether he's competing in the cage, spending time with his family, or giving back to his community, he is always striving to be the best that he can be. And even though he has already accomplished so much in his career, Alex knows that the best is yet to come. With his unbreakable spirit and dedication to excellence, there is no limit to what he can achieve.